Act 1, Scene 1. A cavern. In the middle, a boiling cauldron. Thunder. The three witches enter.
The tawny cat has meowed 3 times.
We'll meet when the noise of the battle is over, when one side has won and the other side has lost. That will happen before sunset. Where should we meet? Let's do it in the open field. We'll meet Macbeth there. The witches hear the calls of their spirit helpers, which look like animals. One is a cat and one is a toad. Calling to her cat, "I'm coming, Grey Malkin." My toad, Paddock, calls me. To her spirit, "I'll be right there." Fair is foul and foul is fair. Let's fly away through the fog and filthy air. Act 1, Scene 2. Sounds of a trumpet and soldiers fighting. King Duncan enters with his sons Malcolm and Donalbain, Lennox, and other attendants. They meet a wounded and bloody captain. Who is this bloody man? Judging from his appearance, I bet he can tell us the latest news about the revolt. Father, this is the brave sergeant who fought to keep me from being captured. Brave friend, tell the king what was happening in the battle when you left it. For a while, you couldn't tell who would win. MacDonald's rebels and your Majesty's army were like 2 exhausted swimmers clinging to each other and struggling in the sea. The villainous rebel, MacDonald, was supported by foot soldiers and horsemen from Ireland, and Lady Luck was with him. But Luck and MacDonald together weren't strong enough. Brave Macbeth, laughing at Luck, swung his bloody, smoking sword across the battlefield until he found MacDonald. He didn't stop to say farewell or strike his hands before he took his life. My brave kinsman, what a worthy man! But your Majesty, just as the violent storms arrive, when spring appears, our success against MacDonald created new problems for us. As soon as we sent those Irish soldiers running for cover, the Norwegian king saw his chance to attack us with fresh troops and shiny weapons. Didn't this frighten our captains, Macbeth and Banquo? The new challenge scared them about as much as sparrows frighten eagles or rabbits frighten a lion. To tell you the truth, they fought this new enemy with twice as much force, like cannons loaded with double ammunition. But I feel weak. My wounds must be tended to. Your words, like your wounds, bring you honor. Take him to the surgeons. The captain exits, helped by attendants. Ross and Angus enter. Who is this? The worthy Thane of Ross. His eyes seem frantic. He looks like someone with a strange tale to tell. God save the king! Where have you come from, worthy Thane? Great king, I've come from Fife, where the Norwegian flag flies mocking our country and frightening our people. Leading an enormous army and assisted by that disloyal traitor, the Thane of Cawdor. The king of Norway began a bloody battle, but then Macbeth, outfitted in his battle armor, met the Norwegian attacks shot for shot, as if he were the husband of the goddess of war. Finally, he broke the enemy's spirit, and we were victorious. Great happiness! So now, the Norwegian king wants a treaty. We wouldn't even allow him to bury his men until he retreated and paid us $10,000. The Thane of Cawdor will never again betray me. Go announce that he will be executed, and tell Macbeth that Cawdor's titles will be given to him. I'll get it done right away. The Thane of Cawdor has lost, but the noble Macbeth has won. Act 1, Scene 3. Thunder. The three witches enter.
Where have you been, sister?
Killing swine. A sailor's wife had chestnuts in her lap and munched away at them. Give me one, I said. Get away from me, witch, the fat woman cried. Her husband had sailed off and was master of a ship called Tiger. I'll sail there and get my revenge. I'll give you some wind to sail there. How nice of you. And I will give you some more. I already have control of all the other winds. I'll drain the life out of him. He won't catch a wink of sleep, either at night or during the day. He will live as a cursed man. For 81 weeks he will waste away in agony. Although I can't make his ship disappear, I can still make his journey miserable. A drum, Macbeth has come. Dancing together in a circle. We weird sisters, hand in hand, dance around and around like so 3 times to ours, and 3 times to mine, and 3 times again, to add up to 9. Enough, the charm is ready. Macbeth and Banquo enter. To Banquo, I have never seen a day that was so good and bad at the same time. How far is it supposed to be to Forres? He sees the witches. What are these creatures? They're so weird-looking and crazily dressed. They don't look like they belong on this planet, but I see them standing here on Earth. To the witches, are you alive? Can you answer questions? You seem to understand me, because each of you has put a gruesome finger to her skinny lips. You look like women, but your beards keep me from believing that you really are. Speak if you can. What kind of creatures are you? All hail Macbeth. Hail to you, Thane of Glamis. All hail Macbeth. Hail to you, Thane of Cawdor. All hail Macbeth, the future king. My dear Macbeth, why do you look so startled and afraid of these nice things they are saying? To the witches, tell me, honestly, are you illusions, or are you really what you seem to be? You've greeted my noble friend with honors and talk of future so glorious that you've made him speechless. But you don't say anything to me. If you can see the future and say how things will turn out, tell me. I don't want your favors, and I'm not afraid of your hatred. Hail! 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 You are lesser than Macbeth, but also greater. You are not as happy as Macbeth, yet much happier. Your descendants will be kings, even though you will not be one. So all hail Macbeth and Banquo. Banquo and Macbeth, all hail. Wait! You only told me part of what I want to know. Stay and tell me more. I already know I am the Thane of Glamis, because I inherited the position when my father died. But how can you call me the Thane of Cawdor? The Thane of Cawdor is alive, and he's a rich and powerful man. And for me, to be the king is completely impossible, just as it's impossible for me to be the Thane of Cawdor. Tell me where you learned these strange things, and why you stop us at this desolate place with this prophetic greeting. Speak, I command you. The witches vanish. The earth has bubbles just like the water, and these creatures must have come from a bubble in the earth. Where did they disappear to? Into thin air. Their bodies melted like breath in the wind. I wish they had stayed. Were these things we're talking about really here? Your children will be kings. You will be the king. And Thane of Cawdor too. Isn't that what they said? That's exactly what they said. Who's this? Ross and Angus enter. The king was happy to hear of your success, Macbeth. Whenever he hears the story of your battles against the rebels, he becomes so amazed it makes him speechless. He was so shocked to learn that on the same day you fought the rebels, you also fought against the army of Norway, and that you weren't the least bit afraid of death, even as you killed everyone around you. Messenger after messenger delivered news of your bravery to the king with praise for how you defended his country. The king sent us to give you his thanks and to bring you to him. Your real reward won't come from us. And to give you a taste of what's in store for you, he told me to call you the Thane of Cawdor. So hail the Thane of Cawdor. That title belongs to you now. Shocked. Can the witches speak the truth? The Thane of Cawdor still lives. Why do you dress me in his clothing? The man who was the Thane of Cawdor is still alive, but he's been sentenced to death, and he deserves to die. I don't know whether he fought on Norway's side, or if he secretly aided the rebels, or if he fought with both our enemies. But his treason, which has been proven, and to which he's confessed, means he's finished. To himself, it's just like the witches said. Now I'm the Thane of Glamis and of Cawdor, and the best part of what their prediction is still to come. To Ross and Angus, thank you for the news. Speaking so that only Banquo can hear. Aren't you beginning to hope your children will be kings? Since the witches who named me Thane of Cawdor promised them nothing less. If you trust their words, you might well hope to become king, as well as Thane of Cawdor. But this whole thing is strange. The agents of evil often tell us partial truths to lead us to our destruction. They win our trust with bits of honesty, only to betray us when it will damage us the most. To Ross and Angus, gentlemen, I'd like to have a word with you, please. Ross, Angus, and Banquo moved to one side. To himself, so far, the witches have told me 2 things that came true. So it seems like this will end in my becoming king. To Ross and Angus, thank you, gentlemen. To himself, this supernatural temptation doesn't seem like it can be a bad thing, but it can't be good either. If it's a bad thing, why was I promised a promotion that turned out to be true? Now I'm the Thane of Cawdor, just like they said I would be. But if this is a good thing, why do I find myself thinking about taking King Duncan's life? A thought so horrifying that it makes my hair stand on end and my heart pound inside my chest. The thought of committing it shakes me up so much that I hardly know who I am anymore. Look at Macbeth, he's in a daze. To himself, if fate wants me to be king, perhaps fate will just make it happen and I won't have to do anything. To Ross and Angus, Macbeth is not used to his new titles. They're like new clothes. They don't fit until you break them over time. To himself, one way or another, what's going to happen is going to happen. Good, Macbeth. We're ready when you are. I beg your pardon. My dull brain was distracted. Kind gentlemen, I won't forget the trouble you've taken for me whenever I think of this day. Let's go to the king. Speaking so that only Banquo can hear. Think about what happened today. And when we've both had time to consider things, let's talk. Absolutely. Until then, we've said enough. To Ross and Angus, let's go, my friends.